Welcome to Looking at Legal Stuff. Today we have two hearings in a case with a couple where Mom kicked Dad out of the house and hasn't allowed him to see the children since he filed for divorce. Mom claims that the fact that Dad filed for divorce has nothing to do with why she wouldn't let him see the children. She says the reason she withheld them is because he isn't capable of taking care of them properly, and he's been acting aggressive and frustrated with them, despite the fact that she was previously relying on him for childcare for all four of her children, including her older two children from a prior relationship. She also claims that she cut off Dad's contact with the children because she isn't allowed to be around anyone who takes drugs, even legal prescriptions, because her job won't allow that. Mom wants supervised visits for Dad, but he wants 50-50 custody. What does the judge think of this toxic relationship? Let's find out.
Derek Hale, Sylvia Hale, cause number 2026 FLA 619C3. Court marks Mr. Vela present in person, Mr. Chu present in person, Derek Hale present in person, and Sylvia Hale present in person. Court has heard that there was 5 contested issues. This is your request, Mr. Chu. Mr. Chu, we have a hard stop today at about 4:30. Are you ready to go forward?
Yes, Judge.
All right. Who is your first witness?
I call Miss Sylvia Alicia Hale.
Ms. Hale, step in front of the lower bench. Pull a microphone up to your mouth. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you will give in this cause will be the truth so help you God?
Yeah.
You may lower your hand. You may have a seat here on the witness stand. As you have a seat, bring the microphone as close to your mouth as possible. Lawyers are going to ask you some questions. Don't answer the question until you've heard the full question. If you hear one of the lawyers make an objection, pause. I'll let you know if you can answer. Make sure you understand the question before you answer. You are under oath. Do you have any questions, Ms. Hale? Let's turn on that microphone, please.
Okay.
Do you have any
No,
questions?
Judge.
All right, Mr. Chu, whenever you're ready.
Please the court. Would you please state your full name for the record, ma'am?
Sylvia Alicia Hale.
And are you married to Mr. Derek Andrew Hale?
Yes.
When did you get married to Mr. Hale?
March the 3rd, 2023.
And when did Mr. Hale file the divorce petition?
April 20th, 2026.
And where has Mr. Hale been living?
I don't know.
Has he been living in the home with you?
No.
Where do you reside?
Laredo, Texas, 78045.
From your marriage to Mr. Hale, how many children do you have?
2.
What are their names and ages?
Nika Valentina Hale. She is 2. And Oliver Forrest Hale. He's 6 months old.
Do you have any other children?
Yes. Isaac Nathaniel Guerra. He's 13. And Ellie May Sablania. She is 9.
And those are not the children that you have with Mr. Hale, right?
Right. Not with Mr. Hale.
They're from a previous divorce.
Yes.
Okay. What is it that you do, Mrs. Hale?
I work for the federal government. I'm an agriculture specialist under DHS.
And what is one of the reasons,
Judge, I'm sorry, I just turned and I noticed there's a witness in the courtroom. If he's gonna be called as a witness, I would invoke the rule. If he's not, he can remain in the courtroom.
he will not be called as witness, Judge. This is temporary.
Understood.
And what is one of the reasons that led up to the filing of this divorce?
I had a concern for my husband's aggression and the way he was treating the kids.
Okay, well, let's tell me about that. I mean, explain to us about the aggression and specifically as to which child.
I have noticed, I've witnessed the behavior with more so the baby, Oliver Forrest Hale, Ever since I think we brought him home, he was in the NICU for 7 days. And then after that, just strange anger towards the baby for moving a little too much while feeding, telling the baby to shut up while he was crying. And that was in front of me and all my children in a hotel room. So that, and then just kind of aggressively, changing the baby. And so I was explaining this to my therapist because I see a therapist regularly. And based on what I was explaining to her about the anger issues and how one time he was caring for Oliver alone, he got angry and punched a hole in the door. And how do I
When
de-escalate?
did this occur?
Oliver must have been, I don't know, 2-3 months old.
Has any other, those type of incidents happened after that?
Punching holes in the walls?
Yeah.
Not after, but prior.
Okay. And what else concerns you?
Drug use,
Okay, explain that. What kind of drug use?
illegal drug use. That also came about in the CPS case because the report came in as possible domestic violence as well, along with the abuse to the 4-month-old concern. And then possible substance use. And that's where it came out that he was starting to deny drug tests and not comply. So that was concerning to me naturally with what I do for a living. So
Why does that concern you again, Mrs. Ham?
because there's a zero tolerance policy for drug use for federal agents,
Okay,
I cannot be associated. So just like my spouse cannot hire any legal housekeeper, I will also suffer the repercussions of that. So if he's engaged in illegal substance use, I am implicated to that, or I need to make sure that I show that I'm not complicit with that behavior, which is why this is important that I,
when were you made aware of this drug use?
the denial of the drug test was concerning. And
When was that, Mrs. Ham?
shortly after the CPS investigation started, I'm not sure of the exact date.
When was that?
I'm not sure of the exact date, but it was shortly after the CPS investigation when it started.
Okay, on or about when? Was it this year
Oh, this year, about a month ago or a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, within the last month.
in April?
Yeah.
All right. And are you aware of what type of drugs your husband was using?
No, not when he denied the drug test. No.
Did you
And
later become aware of what type of drug he was using?
only when he wasn't complying with, I was called by the CPS investigator that they could not get a hold of
Judge, I'm
Mr.
gonna
Hale.
object to her testifying about what other people told her,
So-
not that investigation is here to.
Sustained.
So don't testify to anything that you heard, just what you know and what you
Okay,
observed.
okay.
Okay, so when did you discover what type of drug Mr. Hill was using, your husband was using?
It wasn't until he wasn't complying, he finally called the substance abuse counselor. Since he denied the drug test, he had to go for those services. When he called and made that call, he had now obtained a prescription for medical marijuana for a chronic pain diagnosis through a virtual telehealth appointment, but no medical evidence of this chronic pain.
Okay, and how does your husband behave under marijuana that you have observed?
I would not know, he's up and down.
How is your husband towards your other child, Nika Hale?
He is not as aggressive towards her, but if it's during his sleep or she's sick and she's coughing, I've heard him yell at her, stop coughing, what are you doing coughing? And I'll step out and say, hey, it's okay, let me help you, because you seem to need some help, like not in a confrontational way, just to help him. but it's always escalated. So that's why my therapist was trying to help me into how to de-escalate with his aggression.
And Nika is 2 years old,
She's 2,
and Oliver is 6 months.
6 months old. Yes.
Okay,
The CPS call came in when he was 4 months old. So 2 months ago, actually.
who takes care of Nika and Oliver now?
Me, I do.
Okay.
And my mother helps me.
Okay, how do you take care of them?
Myself. While I'm at home,
Yes.
Yeah. I,
How do you take care of them? You feed them, you bathe?
oh yeah, I feed them, bathe them, give them their medication, treatments if they need it, whenever they have this cough congestion going on with all these viruses, respiratory illnesses. Yeah, I do that.
Okay, and are they, who takes care of them while you're at work?
My mother,
Besides your mother, who else?
that's it, myself.
Are they in daycare?
They are in daycare. That's another thing that was started because I wasn't comfortable leaving my son with my husband.
When did you put the children in daycare?
As soon as the daycare told me they had a spot, I put him in there.
When was it?
April 7th, 6th, 8th, the week of April 6th or 7th.
Okay. That is this year?
This year.
Okay, all right. And who pays for the daycare expenses?
I pay for all daycare expenses for both children.
Okay.
$330 a week.
Now, what did you find concerning after Mr. Hale filed the divorce in your home?
I noticed a camera was installed. I know he got into an altercation with my mother while caring for our kids while we were both working that day. And then a couple of days after that, got into an altercation with my dad. All instances, police were called and a report was made, and there's evidence of that.
What else did you find in the house when you came home? Did you find anything in your shoe closet?
Yes, I found bullets that were placed by my shoes and isolated. That might be.
No, you said you're a federal agent.
Yes.
Are you issued a service weapon?
No, sir, I don't have a service weapon.
What,
So to my knowledge, there should not be a weapon in the home.
okay, so why are there, I mean, what did you find in your shoe closet?
9mm bullets
Okay. And,
placed right by my shoes.
and
They were not there before.
okay. And this was your shoe closet or the closet that you share with your husband?
We share it. It was placed on my side of the closet where my shoes go.
Have you ever seen these bullets around anywhere else?
No,
What went through your mind when you found this?
I was scared
Why?
because he has been unstable in the past with his aggression and then also with suicide concerns. And I didn't know if he was going to do something to himself or do something to me or the kids. And I have made sure that I have not been by myself ever since I saw those bullets.
That's why you have your parents with you.
Yes, I'm never alone. They will not leave me
Okay.
either.
Now, besides the children in your house, do you keep animals?
Yes, we have 5 dogs,
Okay, what type of dogs are they?
3 Great Danes and 2 mixed breed dogs.
And where are the dogs kept?
5 drive, the
Okay.
property,
Okay, are they indoors or outside?
both. So mostly indoors, go outside to use the restroom.
Okay, so how do you juggle taking care of 5 dogs and 4 kids?
It's a challenge because they all don't get along. So it's like musical chairs moving from crates to outdoors to a restroom, from restroom to crates to, and it's with the heat, I'm worried because I've been threatened already to have the cops called on me for the dogs. I'm worried that with the heat, an accident might happen and then I'll be at fault for something that was not intentional. And
What do you
it's a
want
lot.
done? What do you want done with the dogs?
At the very least, to please take the 2 that he had prior to the relationship. I'm fine with staying the 3 Great Danes. But at least the 2, so that way I can mediate with the other ones.
What are you asking the court to do with the residents during this time of the divorce?
To allow me and my 4 children to stay in their home.
Okay. And what are you asking for visits as it concerns for Nika and for Oliver?
I would like supervised visits
Okay, why is that?
because I feel since the CPS case, he has shown more of this instability or mental instability, and it's concerning some of the behavior that has happened since.
Pass the witness.
Cross-examination, Mr. Vela.
Ms. Hale,
Yes, sir.
you've been married to Mr. Hale for 3 years, correct?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Hale is the one who filed for the divorce in April 20th of 2026.
Yes, sir.
And prior to Mr. Hale filing for the divorce, you had frequently allowed Mr. Hale to care for the children on his own without any supervision. Isn't that true?
I had no other choice. I was the breadwinner and I needed to work.
And I'm going to remind you that you're under oath today, okay?
Yes,
And you swore to tell the truth.
yes,
You've allowed Mr. Hale to take care of the children throughout the entire 3 years of your marriage on numerous occasions without any supervision. Isn't that true?
yes, I have.
Okay. And in fact, prior to him filing for the divorce, you allowed him to take care of the children unsupervised while you went out of town. Isn't that true? For 2 nights,
Hesitant, yes,
right?
but hesitant,
And
yes.
and despite already knowing that you had these concerns about CPS and about your claim that he was abusive or that he had drug problems, you allowed him to take care of the children unsupervised for 2 nights, correct? In March.
Because I was threatened a lot by him and I did not want to jeopardize anything in the future. So I felt like with my job, I have to take care of how I behave. So I wanted to make sure that I was also trying to give the kids an opportunity to spend time with their father. But as time passed, like I mentioned, his behavior became more and more bizarre.
Okay, so my question was specifically about March of 2026.
Yes,
2 nights that despite you knowing all these things that you told the court, you allowed Mr. Hale to take care of the kids unsupervised. Isn't that true?
his mom was usually there.
But
Yes.
my question, ma'am, listen to my question. My question is you allowed him to take care of the children unsupervised for 2 nights, right?
Yes.
Okay. And is it you who reported the call to CPS about your concerns about Mr. Hale?
No, sir.
Was it your therapist that you're seeing?
Yes,
Okay. And you're also claiming that Mr. Hale's unstable, but you're the one who's actually seeing a therapist. Isn't that true?
therapy doesn't mean you're unstable.
Well, but you're seeing a therapist, correct? That was my question.
Yes, I'm seeing a
Okay.
therapist.
And what kind of medications do you take as part of your therapy?
I don't have any medications.
No,
No, sir.
you do not. Okay.
No, sir.
Now, you mentioned to the court that you found some bullets in your closet. Did you file a police report about the bullets?
I did mention to the police and that I have photos.
Did
Yes.
you file the police reports with the bullets?
No, I have not filed a police
Okay.
report. I wasn't sure how to handle that situation.
And you don't have a service weapon?
I do not have a service
And
weapon.
Mr. Hale doesn't have a service weapon?
He's owned a gun in the past, but I was told it was sold.
There is no weapons in your house?
Not to my knowledge, but there might be.
And in fact, Mr. Hale has tried to reach out to you in this past month to go see the children and you have refused.
I don't feel that they are safe.
Okay, you have refused, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and you do not have a court order that says that Mr. Hale cannot see the children?
No, I don't.
And he is the father?
Yes, he
Okay.
is.
And you have trusted him for 3 years to take care of your children on multiple occasions, correct?
Yes.
And in fact, you have posted multiple times on the internet, on your Facebook chat, that Mr. Hale is a godsend to you and to the family. Isn't that true?
I feel like I need to elaborate.
Okay, Judge, may I ask the court to call up on case lines petitioner's exhibit number 6?
Court staff will prompt.
And I'm going to ask you, you go by the name of Sylvia Alicia on Facebook, correct?
Yes,
And on March the 9th, 2024, you posted this post that the court is showing you, correct?
from 2 years ago, yes.
Yes, and I want you to read it so that the court can understand the things you were saying about Mr. Hale, okay?
Objection, relevance, Judge.
Relevance.
Judge, she is attacking my client's reliability and ability to care for the children, and that he's a monster. And so these messages that she's going to read are going to tell you what she feels about her husband on different occasions to rebut her allegations today, Judge.
Judge,
Oh, Go ahead.
that's when Nikita was just born and before Oliver was born, Judge. It was 2
Oh,
years ago.
Overruled. You may answer.
Please read what the court is showing you on petitioner's exhibit number 6, which is a post you made on March 9th, 2024.
What a ride this month has been, and as always, time is a thief. Every minute with you, baby girl, is complete bliss. Your smiles, snorts, and farts make every day a dream. Thank you, Hellboy, for always taking care of our family and me. May God continue to bless our family, and may we enjoy many, many more months together for all of eternity. Happy 1 month, Nika Valentina, mi chiquita preciosa, te amo, mami.
And when you said, thank you, Hale Boy 92, for always taking care of our family and me, who are you talking about?
I'm talking about my husband.
Okay. Now, let me show you exhibit number 7. Judge, may we ask the staff to call up petitioner's exhibit number 7?
Court staff will prompt.
Now, in June of 2025, you posted this on your Facebook, Sylvia Alicia. And this was a post that you were posting to who?
My husband.
Okay. And can you read what you said about your husband back in June 15th, 2025?
Yes, to the man who didn't just step in, he showed up with his whole heart. You love our babies with every fiber of your being, and you've wrapped my kids in the kind of love they will never forget. I see the sacrifices, the late nights, the gentle hands, the loud laughter, and the quiet strength. Thank you for being the kind of father that heals, builds, and loves without limits. We're so lucky to call you ours. Happy Father's Day.
And this was in 2025. And now you're telling the court that all of a sudden, Mr. Hale, he can't have the kids because he's a danger to you and to the kids. Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
And you're also saying that Mr. Hale is unsafe.
yes.
Okay. And Judge, may I ask the court staff to call up exhibit number 8?
Court staff will prompt.
Am I allowed to elaborate at all?
No, your lawyer will be able to ask you some questions to follow up, Mr. Vela.
Now, you've told the court that back in March is when the CPS phone call came in, when your therapist made a call against my client. True?
Yes,
Okay. And so since March, you've known about whatever issues you're concerned about with Mr. Hale.
yes,
And despite that, you allowed him to care for your kids unsupervised while you were at work. True?
I had no other choice. Yes,
The question is, did you
Yes.
allow him?
yes.
Yes. Okay. So now let me show you what's been marked as petitioner's exhibit number 8. This is a message that you sent to my client. Sylvia Davila is your name?
Yes.
Okay. And read to me the parts that are in black, and I will read the parts that are in green, which are my client's responses to you. Start at the top, please.
Hug and kiss the babies. Good night for me. Good night. I hope the babies are easy on you. Good night. I fell asleep putting Nika to bed. Now I'm up because she's coughing again, giving her meds, then going to sleep. Neighbors are partying with the jump house since 2
And
p.m.
who is talking in the sections that are green?
Mr. Hale,
And who's talking in the sections that are black?
that would be me.
Now, continue, please.
Yikes. I have my phone on loud in case you have an emergency. Thank you for taking care of Nika's cough. Sounds like nighttime makes it worse. I hope the neighbors stop soon. Try to get some rest. Oliver gets up between 5 to 6-ish, sometimes 7. Good night. Missing you guys.
And then what does he respond? Mr. Hale.
Oliver is up right now. Gonna feed him again. Nika is up from coughing again. Had to give her medicine. She's back asleep since I've been trying to get Oliver back down.
So in this message, which was on March 29th, 2026, just almost 35 days ago, despite you knowing that CPS had been called, despite the fact that you're claiming my client was somehow abusing a narcotic, even though he had a prescription, despite the fact that you're telling the court that he placed bullets in your closet, you were still allowing him to care for the kids while you were at work.
That happened after
Okay,
this
well,
message.
What's the date of this message?
March 29th. I'm saying the bullets happened after this message.
Okay.
Behaviors changed after that message.
So-
Yes.
Exclude the bullets part. Even though you knew that your CPS had been called, that you were claiming he was aggressive towards your child or your children, actually, and that he was somehow a danger to you, you allowed him to take care of the kids unsupervised.
I
Yes.
allowed him to take care of the kids unsupervised. I will also say that during this time, and Mr. Hale can attest to this,
No, ma'am, I just asked you
We-
if it was true. You can
we-
stop there. Yes or no?
yes.
Okay, thank you. Now, here, on this exhibit, which was, petitioner's exhibit number 8, March 29, 2026, my client is telling you that he's gonna feed Oliver. So he knows how to feed Oliver, correct?
Yes.
And he knows how to change his diaper,
Yes.
and he knows who the doctor is,
Yes.
and your baby feels comfortable with him because you've left him with him multiple occasions.
Correction. I think he knows 1 or 2 of his doctors. Yes.
Okay. And then with regards to Nika, your 2-year-old, the same thing. He knows how to feed her. Yes,
Yes.
he can take her to the doctor if she's sick.
Yes.
He knows how to give her any type of medicine that she needs.
He's made mistakes, but yes.
Okay. And after the divorce was filed, which was on April the 20th, 2026, according to your testimony, that's when you decided that my client was no longer going to be able to visit with the kids.
I will say during this time, we were doing marriage counseling, and so I was fighting tooth and nail for this marriage. So I was trying to provide the words of affirmation he was asking for, which will lead to all these sweet text messages, because that was how my client received love. So I was doing that for that reason. But since the filing, that changes how I have to approach the way I'm truly feeling about my concerns.
And so your answer is yes, after the April 20th filing, you decided you were no longer going to let Mr. Hale see the kids.
It was before the filing.
And you also decided that you were not going to let Mr. Hale go into the house.
Correct.
And the house was purchased during the marriage.
Yes.
And it was purchased, let's see, on exhibit, I would ask the court to call up exhibit number 5, Judge.
Court staff will prompt.
I'm sure what's been marked as petitioner's exhibit number 5. It's a copy of the general warranty deed. And on the first paragraph, it says that this property was granted to grantors paid by Sylvia Hale and Derek Hale, husband and wife. Is that true?
Yes.
And if I can ask staff to turn to page number B7, Judge. And this document can you go down to the signature? This document right above the signature says December 15th, 2023, correct?
Yes.
And so this property was purchased in both of your names.
Yes.
And you and your husband both have the right to live at this home, correct?
Yes.
Unless the judge says otherwise.
Yes.
But despite the fact that it's in his name, you have not allowed him to go into the home.
We agreed that he wouldn't go in at the beginning. Yes. And then the TRO was filed.
So you actually asked him to stay out. Yes?
We agreed that it was best because I had 4 children and he was one person.
Okay, so you asked him to leave the house. Yes?
Yes.
And he voluntarily agreed?
Yes, but then changed his mind.
Okay, and so now you want to keep him out.
Yes.
Now, let me show you petitioner's exhibit number 1. I would ask the court to, if the staff could show exhibit 1.
Court staff will prompt.
that is your husband, Mr. Hale, with your children, correct?
Yes, taken when he was at our home by himself.
Okay. And may I ask exhibit number 2, Judge, if we could show that?
Court staff will prompt.
And exhibit number 2 is a picture of your husband with your older daughter,
Yes, that's Nika.
Nika. And exhibit number 3, Judge, if we could show that?
Go ahead, staff.
And that is your husband with your younger child, Oliver, correct?
Yes,
And he's feeding him with his bottle.
yes,
And he's done that on multiple occasions while you're at work.
yes, he's had to.
Judge, I'd like to offer petitioners exhibit 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. At this time,
Any objections to exhibits 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8?
We have no objection.
They're admitted without objection.
and then, Judge, may I ask if you could please call up exhibit number 9?
Court staff will do so.
In this particular exhibit, you are responding in black and Mr. Hale is responding in the blue. You asked them to leave some food outside because you didn't want them to go into the home. And Mr. Hale told you that you couldn't do this without a court order and you were prohibiting from entering the house. Is that true?
Prior to that message, it was his idea to leave the dog food outside. So I just said, okay, please leave the dog food outside to avoid confrontation, which ended up happening because he did not leave the dog food outside. He went inside and got into an altercation with my mother.
Okay, so that's what you're telling the court, but
Yes.
then Mr. Hale responds, you know you can't do this without a court order. You're taking advantage of the legal loophole, and it's very noticeable, both with the children care and my house. He's complaining to you that you're not allowing him his rights to have his home and to visit with the kids. Isn't that true?
He was allowed to go into the home.
And so then why is he complaining?
I don't know.
You don't know?
He's unstable.
Now, you're claiming he's unstable, but
Yes.
the court just saw that a month ago, you allowed him to take care of the kids while you were gone out of town.
Again, I'm going to repeat the marriage counseling and the fact that there was threats. I was trying my very hardest to make sure he was okay mentally.
When
and
were the suicide threats?
They were prior to throughout the pregnancy, prior to February. I have a phone call to 988 hotline after telling Mr. Hale that if he continued to threaten to take his life, I would call 988, and I did
What year was that?
this year,
What month?
February.
February.
Yes,
And you said it was throughout your pregnancy?
he has threatened throughout the pregnancy that thank God he sold his gun, because if not, he would blow his brains out.
What child were you pregnant with when he was making the
Oliver.
threats? And what year was Oliver born?
2025.
Okay, so how did he make threats while you were pregnant in 2026?
No. While I was pregnant, he made that threat. He made another threat next after Oliver was born.
So what you're
In
telling
this
this,
past February, he made another threat.
so what you're telling the court is that Mr. Hale made threats,
Yes,
was physical with the kids. You felt scared, and yet
Yes.
throughout what we just saw, you have allowed him to take care of the kids while you're at work.
I had no other choice.
So the
At
answer
the
is yes? The answer is yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now, Judge, may I call up exhibit number 10?
Court staff will prompt.
Mr. Hale is asking you in the blue that he wants to see Nika and Ollie,
Yes.
and you told him, get used to standard visitation. Why did you say that?
Because we had discussed visitation prior. We had been talking about that, and so I said standard visitation was probably what the court was going to rule, because I've been through this process before. So when parties don't agree, usually it's standard visitation. That's why I said that.
So you decided to choose standard visitation.
We talked about it.
And you know we're asking the court for a 50-50 possession split, correct?
Correct?
And you don't agree with that.
No, sir.
How would you like it if the court gave you standard possession and gave my client custody? Would you be okay with that?
No, sir.
Okay. He also tells you that he doesn't know where the kids are and he doesn't know what standard visitation, but he doesn't want it, right?
And the text,
Yes.
I didn't, can I see it
Can you
again?
bring up exhibit number 10, please, for court staff?
Go ahead.
And if you can scroll down the message. And if you could scroll down a little bit further. And in return for him asking you that he didn't want standard, you told him, I already told you it's going to be standard. Tell your mom to leave me alone. And my client responds, got it, correct?
Yes, sir.
And now in exhibit number 11, if the court staff could bring up number 11.
Go ahead.
Mr. Hale is talking in on the right side columns and you're talking on the left side columns. And he's telling you that your way is unreasonable. Isn't that true?
No. Well, he did text that, yes.
Right. And then you told him, I don't want you near me, nor and you don't respect that. And he
Yes.
says, I'm obviously offering you the house, right? Which is what you said that he moved out.
Mhm.
And you told him, ask Donald what will happen if I decide I want to call the cops for a domestic dispute. Who is Donald?
Prior to these messages that you're showing, he
Well, who
told
is Donald, ma'am? Answer my question.
Mr. Hale's uncle that works for Laredo Police Department.
What's his name?
Donald Hale.
Okay. And you told him, ask Donald what will happen if I decide to call the cops for a domestic dispute. My client responds on this screen, you're not understanding. You'll need to step away and see someone. He's telling you that you need to go see someone, correct?
Before that text,
Hold on, ma'am. I'm
It's-
talking about this
there's
text, so please
there's
answer my
pieces
question.
missing where he brought up Donald first.
Judge, may I ask for the court to instruct the witness to answer my question?
You need to answer the questions.
Okay,
Go ahead.
what was the question? Again, I'm sorry.
He told you that you're not understanding. You need to step away and see someone, right?
I don't know if he means an attorney or if he means another police
Well,
officer.
whatever he meant, he told you you needed to see someone, right?
Sure, yes.
And this was in response because you're telling him that he needs to ask his uncle what the cops will do if you call them, right?
Yes,
Okay, and you said, who will they remove? Question mark. What did you mean by that?
who will they ask to leave the house?
And who are they going to remove?
Usually they allow the mother to stay with the children.
And
That's what
they
I
could have
know.
allowed him to stay at the house with the kids, right?
But I have two other children that live there that are not his.
And then, oh, by the way, that's a good point. Your other two children,
Yes,
what did you say their names were?
Isaac Guerra
And-
and
and
Ellie
Ellie.
Saldana. Mhm.
One is 13 and one is 9.
Yes,
Throughout your 3 years of marriage with Mr. Hale, you
Yes.
have allowed Mr. Hale to care for Isaac and Ellie, correct?
yes,
You have allowed him to pick up the children at school? Yes?
yes, I had to.
You have allowed him to drop off the children at school?
Yes, I had to on
You have
occasion.
allowed him to take care of them overnight while you're at work?
I had a full-time job for the federal government. Yes, he did a lot of that work.
Okay, let me go back to exhibit number 11. You told him who will they remove, and he tells you more threats, and you tell him, ask him, I could be a bitch too. Why are you telling him that you could be a bitch?
Because he was being a bitch.
He was being a bitch?
Yes.
Did you tell him that on the text?
No, he was acting a certain way, and so if he wanted to act that way, I can do that too.
Okay. Where do you work, ma'am?
World Trade Bridge,
What is your position?
agriculture specialist,
How much money do you make per year?
about $110,000, 120, depending on overtime. night differential and holiday pay.
Did you file your income tax return for 2025?
Yes, sir, I did.
How much did you claim in your W-2 for 2025?
I'm not sure of the exact amount right now.
Do you have a copy on your phone?
Yeah, I probably do.
Do you want to look for it?
My phone is dead.
Your current salary is at least 110,000,
Yes,
and you have two children who are not before the court,
yeah, in different relations.
and there is two children before the court.
Yes, yes.
Do you know where your husband works?
He is self-employed
Where?
at Power 5, the business we started together.
Where else does he work?
I think he started working at Orange Theory and Crunch and another commission-based athletic gear, some sort.
And so your husband is involved in the athletic business, correct?
Yes. That's new, yes.
Would you be willing to vacate the home to allow Mr. Hale to live there?
No. I cannot risk him leaving anything or planting anything that would jeopardize my job.
How would that jeopardize your job?
He's using medical marijuana, and I don't know that that's a good idea. I cannot be associated, live under the same roof, share spaces with somebody who's engaging in that.
So you're telling us that if somebody has a medical prescription, that's not good enough for your job, for your employer?
That's correct.
And Mr. Hale is not employed by the federal government, correct?
No, his wife is.
Okay, so you could leave the house to avoid that problem?
No, I cannot share a space with him.
Mr. Hale has the same right to occupy the home, correct?
Yes,
And he has two kids who live at that home, right?
yes,
Would you be willing to allow Mr. Hale to live at the house when he has possession of the children?
no,
Do you have a mother and father who live in Laredo?
I do.
Could you not stay with them, with your other children, while Mr. Hale exercises his visitation with his kids?
Would he like me to take my older kids with me too?
Yes,
No,
you're not willing to do that.
I don't think that's a rational thing. No.
Do you
To
have health
ask the
insurance
older-
for the children?
I do.
And how much are you paying for the health insurance for the kids?
I'm not sure of the exact number.
You pay health insurance for all four kids?
Health, dental, vision, yes,
For all four kids?
for all four.
Okay.
It was agreed in prior orders based on child support amounts and whatnot, yes.
I have no further questions for the witness, Judge.
That was Cross. Anything on redirect?
When did your trust of Mr. Hale change, Mrs. Hale?
It was within the last month or so with the CPS, when the CPS case came out, that report, I realized how deeply rooted this use was, and it was more of so of validation for me that somebody else also thought that this behavior was concerning, not just me.
What have you observed of Mr. Hale's behavior towards the children?
At the moment, right now, or
Yeah.
um,
At the moment.
He cares for the kids whenever it's his time to care for the kids. I'm not sure I'm understanding the question.
Pass the witness, Judge.
Anything on recross?
No, Judge. I would just like
Right,
to offer Exhibit 9, 10, and 11, which were talked about during first reading.
Any objection to the
No
admission
objection,
of
Judge.
exhibits 9, 10, and 11 are admitted
I called,
without objection? All right, Ms. Hill, you may step down.
I called
Thank you,
Mr.
Judge.
Derek, Andrew Hale, Judge.
The court will pause. It is, Mr. Hill, you may have a seat. So we'll go to 4:30. It's 4:36. I was looking at the calendar, Mr. Chu and Mr. Vela. There's really only one time slot that I could devote to this. But before I do, Mr. Chu, how many more witnesses do you have?
Just have Mr. Hale, Judge.
And Mr. Vela, how many witnesses do you have?
Just Mr. Hale, Judge.
How much time do you anticipate reasonably with this witness, Mr. Chu?
I would probably spend about 30 minutes with Mr. Hale, and so probably an hour between us, I believe.
Mr. Vela?
That's correct. I think Mr. Chu is correct.
All right, let's come back unless you all have an objection, and I'm gonna be pressed to give you anything in the next 3 weeks, but we will reconvene this hearing. No changes to any orders. The status quo remains until Friday, May the 8th at 9 a.m. Thoughts, comments, or objections, Mr. Chu?
Yes, Judge. Does that mean that Mr. Hale still stays out of the house?
That means whatever's in place right now doesn't change until I can hear the full set of evidence and make a decision.
Thank you.
Judge, there is no order prohibiting my client from being at the home. There is a standard temporary restraining order that was signed by the court. There is no order prohibiting visitation. And so I don't understand why they're saying we can't go to the home.
It's,
And also why we can't see the kids.
I'm gonna reiterate what I've said. So there was this, and I think I remember because I was looked to see whether the only thing that really stands out, usually all things being equal in these cases, is whether exclusion is requested. And I don't think I just don't remember that in this case, unless you tell me different, Mr. Chu. So I'm gonna just reiterate what the court has already said. Any orders currently in place remain, stay valid and in effect until Friday, May the 8th at 9 a.m. when we resume. Now, if there's any issues, Mr. Chu and Mr. Vela, just flesh it out in first testimony and then argument as to what happened and why and what should have happened in case it didn't. And that should also assist the court in making the most and best appropriate decision. Anything else on this case, Mr. Chu?
yes, Judge. We did request an exclusion in our temporary order request. So if I can,
You requested an exclusion. How did the court receive and interview Sylvia Hale and hear testimony from her?
yes, we did. I'd asked her,
At the time that the order was signed?
at the time that the order was signed, we had requested an exclusion, but that's normally doesn't take effect until after.
It can't be it can't be granted unless there's an in-person, not examination, but an in-person testimony. I don't even think an affidavit suffices. I think it has to be an in-person. It's not even an interview, but the evidence has to be in person. Let me ask I can't believe I would have signed that. Give me 1 second.
No, Judge, you didn't grant the exclusion at the time of signing. It was going to be granted after the hearing.
I think with Mr. Chu saying that he is requesting exclusive use of the home, but there is no order excluding my client from the house. That's why we're having the hearing. And she's been keeping my client out of the home. And not allowing my client to see the kids. I would ask the court to order that she allow my client to visit with the kids today and that he keep them overnight and return them to her tomorrow.
So we just asked for the court just to keep everything the way it is until at the conclusion of our hearing on the 8th.
One more time. So I think we're all saying the same thing. We arrive at different conclusions. So we've already started this hearing and the court is making 0 changes to the court's orders. So act accordingly. If any person is unreasonable or controverts those orders for any reason or does something outside of what is standard and normal or ordered by the court, then I'm going to deal with that situation on Friday. Ms. Hale, Mr. Hale, I wish you both very well. We'll continue on Friday. Good luck to all.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
That concludes this hearing. The case before the court is Derek Andrew Hale versus Sylvia Alicia Hale, cause number 2026 FLA 619C3. Present in person are Mr. Vela and his client, Mr. Hale. Also present is Mr. Chu and his client, Ms. Hale. Are there any other parties or lawyers present on this case? All right. Counsel, when last we left off, I believe Mr. Chu had finished a redirect of Ms. Hale And remind the court, Mr. Chu, did you have other questions or were you about to call your next witness?
I'm about to call my next witness because I was clear, the court was pretty clear that they're giving us about 30 minutes each side.
Then or now?
Well, now for today.
Oh, I see. All right. Who is your next witness?
I call Mr. Derek Hill.
Mr. Ella, just to confirm, is that everything that the court recited? Is that your impression? You're off the record.
The first witness we were about to call, Mr. Chu was about to call my client, Mr. Hale. The court gave us an hour for today, 30 minutes each side.
All right. Mr. Hale, you're being asked to testify. Please stand in front of the lower bench. Pull a microphone up to your mouth as close as possible. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you will give in this cause will be the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
You may have a seat here on the witness stand. Court staff will start that video. Give us 1 second while we do. When you're ready, Mr. Chu, go ahead.
May it please the court. Would you please state your full name for the record, sir?
Yes, sir. Derek Andrew Hale.
Good morning, Mr. Hale. My name is Nathan Henry Chu. I represent your wife, Mrs. Hale.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Mr. Hale, you have two children. Is it Nika and Oliver? Is that right?
That's correct, sir.
Nika is 2 years old and Oliver just turned 6 months. Is that right?
That's correct.
And you also have 5 dogs?
5 dogs. Yes.
Okay. And what type of dogs are they?
We have 2 mixed smaller dogs, and we have 3 Great Danes.
All right. And what is it that you do, Mr. Hale?
I am a personal trainer, group fitness trainer, and a gym owner.
Okay. And what are your hours of work?
My main source of income is from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And my other 2 jobs are 2 days out of the week. At Orange Theory, that's where I work 5 a.m. through 7 a.m. Those hours are reserved for when my children are with their wife. Now, my third job is my personal gym that we own, Power 5 Laredo, and I have another coach that helps me 3 times out of the week, and I only need to be there 2 times out of the week. Those hours are from 6 to 8 p.m.
And from the 9 to 3 work, where is it that you work?
That's at Crunch Fitness, and that's on a come and go basis. So if I needed to leave, they allow me to leave and they allow me to come back. Just depends on my schedule with the clientele.
Okay. And that's as a personal trainer or?
That's no, I do both there, personal trainer and group fitness instructor.
Oh, okay. And you've been married to Mrs. Hale for about 3 years, is that correct?
That's correct, sir.
Okay. Where do you live right now?
Currently, I stay with my mother.
Okay. Was there an occasion where you had to talk to Child Protective Services recently?
Yes, CPS did conduct an investigation.
Okay. Was the investigation on you?
To my knowledge, yes.
Okay. And do you know the reason?
I believe my wife spoke in therapy that I was mishandling my 6-month-old son. And according to the CPS case that was closed on Tuesday, there was not evidence to substantiate any harm, danger, or neglect.
Okay. And was it because you were frustrated because of your 6-month-old son who was keeping you awake?
No.
No. You didn't yell at him to be quiet?
Yes, I've acted poorly. I've maybe raised my voice, and I've learned from such behaviors through things like therapy, exercise.
Okay. Now, during the CPS investigation, did they ask you to take a drug test, Mr. Hale?
Yes, that's correct.
Did you take a drug test?
No, I told them to get a court order or take the substance assessment test. And that's the one that I opted for, the substance assessment test.
Was that a written test or a physical test? What type of test is that?
I had an interview with I believe a behavioral therapist from Tropical Behavior. I think it's from Edinburgh or the Valley.
Okay.
His name was James Sandoval, and we had a telephone assessment.
That was a telephone assessment.
Yes, sir.
But you didn't have to submit to any sort of, you didn't have to provide any physical samples, urine, blood, or
that was the
or
options that CPS told me to take.
Okay, but you didn't do any of that stuff.
No, sir.
Do you use marijuana?
I currently use my medical marijuana card for chronic elbow injury. Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's for the elbow injury.
That's correct.
When did you receive the injury?
That was in 2017.
When did you start using the medical marijuana?
I just recently found out that I qualified. As recently as March. So in April, I put in my qualifications and phone call, and I had my telehealth meeting, and that's where I went with my medical marijuana card.
Okay. So do you remember the date in April that you got your card?
Correct, April 14th.
April 14th.
Yes, sir.
And how did you get this card?
It was a telehealth meeting.
Okay. What did you have to do in the telehealth meeting?
Describe my issue and what other factors that may be contributing to my chronic pain.
And did you talk to a medical doctor?
Yes, I did.
To a Texas medical doctor?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And at the conclusion, what were you given?
They prescribed me multiple different options, but I went with just two. It's a tincture and a edible gummy. It's a doctor prescribed medication that I was recommended, and I haven't used around my children, nor do I intend to.
Okay, so the tincture and edible gummy, where did you buy that?
The website, I believe, is Texas Original, and they tell you to pick them up at their dispensaries in Texas, or they go and distribute.
And did you pick up any of these tinctures and edible gummies?
No, sir.
Okay. Prior to using the tinctures and edible gummies, did you use any other form of marijuana?
Yes, there was the low grade THC from the over-the-counter stores here in town. That's what I found to help my pain in the meantime, because the prescriptions that I was getting gave me adverse reactions.
But you just got the prescriptions.
Yes, this is the legal over-the-counter that you would buy at the corner store, and it's the same not the same pain relieving effect, but it's a dampening of the pain. So it's not what I currently have, but it was legal for me to use.
Is that the only type of marijuana that you've used?
Correct.
You've never used any other marijuana?
In college, yes, I've used.
Okay, in college. And then after college, did you continue to use?
No, this was the other alternative. This was the combination. So I don't know what else was in. That was probably the bad part. Those at the corner stores and the vape shops in town, it's like those vape type of I guess e-cigarettes. So I know how unhealthy they are, and it wasn't my best choice, and I'm glad that I moved on from that.
Okay. And you're testifying that that's the only place that you've ever used marijuana or bought marijuana from?
Correct. Not from that. So that's same shop, but there's other stores in town. Yes, corner stores that I would go to buy the same pain relieving product.
Okay. But they've always been marijuana flower from the store, nothing from the streets.
Nothing from the streets. It's THCA, which is the other I guess derivative from the THC plant that they're going off of. So it's not the same as the green leafy substance that you're speaking of.
Okay. Do you use any other type of drugs, Mr. Hale?
No, sir.
Do you use any sort of steroids, human growth hormones?
No, sir.
Okay. You don't use any of that stuff.
No, sir. And I'm willing to submit to a drug test.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. Now, are you were in marriage counseling with your wife?
That's correct, sir.
Okay. How long have you guys been in marriage counseling?
We just recently started in, I believe it was March.
March of this year?
Yes. We tried once before, but it was only one session and we never followed through with that. I think that was in 2025. I don't remember the exact date.
Right. And it was your wife had been telling you that it's difficult with your marijuana usage as it concerns her job. Is that correct?
Yes.
And she's been telling you that she can't be with you or in the house with you because your continued use of marijuana. Is that right?
This is the one that I buy, that I would buy. I don't know what you're asking technically. Like, can you clarify your question?
Well, the disagreement between you and your wife.
Correct.
Is because of the marijuana use.
Right, for my prescription medical card, correct. That was the whole reason why we were having these recent issues as of April, and why I could not withstand our relationship anymore. So that's why I filed for divorce. I was doing things the legal way, and I was still getting repercussions and told things, and it wasn't conducive for our relationship or our relationship with our children.
Right. When you get frustrated, did you hit the wall of your house?
Yes, that was a time I acted poorly and I regretted it instantly.
Okay. And that was it was so hard that you left a hole in the wall, is that right?
There was a hole in the wall, yes.
Okay. You still haven't fixed it, right?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay. That was when you were with Oliver?
No, he was not home.
Okay. But there was a time that you punched the door when you were with Oliver?
He was not in like in my arms. Is that what you're saying?
Was he? No.
No, he was not in he was in another room in the living room, and I pushed the door open.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
It's because of the crying.
No,
Or
no.
what got you frustrated that you had to punch the wall?
I'll admit I've handled my frustration poorly, but I'm grateful I have learned better managing techniques, just like when I was told not to go to my home or to pick up my children from daycare, and I didn't cause a ruckus or any scene at daycare. So I've been proactively managing any concerns, and like I stated, CPS investigated and closed the case, that there was no abuse, no danger, or no neglect to any of my children.
Okay. Yeah, I guess the only thing would be just the marijuana usage, right? But you're saying that you don't use it around your children?
No, I don't use it around my children, and that's doctor prescribed. So it's like prescription medication.
Okay. Um, Okay. Also, with your frustration, Mr. Hale, did you tell your wife that you wanted to commit suicide or?
I'd love to clarify. What I would tell her in those arguments is if I was a weaker person, something like that would have happened. But I am not a weaker person, which is why I'm able to be stable and in control.
And when did you mention that to your wife?
Mention
That you wanted to hurt yourself?
mm, I never mentioned I wanted to hurt myself. Like I said, if I was a weaker person, I would have done something. I have never hurt myself in my 34 years of life, nor have I ever threatened anybody or in like with physical violence in my life. And I maintain that, and I'm going to keep that.
Oh. Oh. Um, tell me about the bullets that were found in the shoe closet.
Correct. That was an unfortunate series of events. When I'm allowed to my home in these past 3 weeks, I'm only allowed for 30 minutes or less. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be there because of the temporary orders and temporary restraining orders. There was no definitive, you can't be here. So as I'm there, I'm trying to avoid confrontation. I'm picking up my things, 30 minutes. I left it on a shared refrigerator, and I don't know how it got to her shared space with her shoes, but our closet, I have a sliver and she's right next to me. Either way, it was something I should not have forgotten because it came to this.
Well, you left the house before the temporary orders was in place, right?
Correct, but I didn't take my stuff, and there's still a lot of my items that are currently there. All I have is clothes.
But you agreed to leave the house when you filed the divorce on your own?
No, those weren't the orders when I filed.
I know there were no orders when you filed.
Correct.
So when you filed, had you already left them?
To be maybe peaceful for her because of the other two children, Isaac and Ellie, they should have the same roof under their head, and I agreed. I wanted them to be together, even though I had been X amount of days.
But you had agreed with your wife to leave the house on your own when you.
Yes, but not wholeheartedly 7 days out of the week, 24 hours. We had an agreement that when her older children go with their fathers, she could stay elsewhere, and when they come back, I would leave. We don't want to stay in the same house together. We don't want that shared roof anymore, but my children deserve to be in their home, and I deserve to be in my home. I have been peaceful. I have been kind enough to allow her to keep me out of my home. We could have had the police there and go through the XYZs of the documentation. I called my lawyer. My lawyer spoke to the police officer, and what they told me, no, you can be here, but it is in your best interest to not be here. And I said, yes, I understand wholeheartedly.
But you did arrive with the police officer a few times to the house.
I was unaware of what the orders meant. I'm still not fully aware if 250 feet away from her, 200, because I spoke to the cop, gave the phone to my lawyer. They told me, yes, you can be here, but there's more opportunity for you to mess up.
Okay. Now let's go back to the bullets. You said that so the bullets were already in the house, or you brought the bullets to the house?
They were in the house since purchase of the weapon in February of 2025. Since June of 2025, there hasn't been any weapons in the house. Those are just bullets lingering that need to be discarded.
Okay. So why were they in the shoe closet?
I unfortunately forgot. I was very emotional, and I regret leaving anything anywhere like that. I'd never threatened her in our 6 years. I've never threatened any violence to her in our 6 years. I've never raised my hands to her in 6 years. So this restraining order was just as much as left field than what I came to the table with as a decree. I don't, it's my first time being here. It's my first time in a divorce. I don't know what to expect.
You don't think that your wife would be frightened, nervous, or scared when she comes home and she finds bullets in her shoe closet?
I can't speak to my wife's emotions. What I can attest to is I regrettably left something of mine there that I was intending to take away. Discard of, I don't have a weapon. I don't have no use for it. It's just collecting dust.
Put yourself in her situation. Like you said, you don't have a weapon. She doesn't have a weapon. Going into your shoe closet and you're finding an open box of bullets. Does that make you feel nervous or threatened?
Me personally, no, because again, her shoe closet is right next to my adjoining area. I don't have a lot of space in my closet. So it was an accident. I don't know how it got left there. I left it on the shared refrigerator. I didn't see it where her shoes were. So I'm still not even aware if it was moved from where I put it.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Mr. Vela.
Mr. Hale, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Vela.
How long have you been married?
For 3 years, we've been together for 6 years.
You and your wife have been able to share the house without any problems?
Yes, sir. No problems in the 6 years that we've been together.
The judge has heard a lot of comments or testimony about using CBD, marijuana, or other allegations of anger. Has the cops ever been called to your house for any of those claims?
No, sir. Never.
So you said that the CPS case was closed, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that CPS case was started, to your knowledge, how?
My wife had her first therapy session through another provider, and that's what I learned. I understand the therapist has to do their job and report findings.
Do you know when your wife went to this therapist?
Early March.
This year?
Yes, sir.
And that was just a month before you filed for divorce?
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
so as a result of her telling her therapist, CPS opened an investigation.
Yes.
And the allegations were that you were violent toward your son,
yes, sir.
and that you were abusing marijuana.
Yes, sir.
And CPS came and did an investigator.
Yes, they did.
They sent you a person to investigate the allegations.
Yes, they did.
Who recommended that you do the substance abuse assessment?
Cynthia, our investigator, the
Okay.
CPS investigator.
And did she give you a person to contact about doing the substance abuse?
Yes, sir. James Sandoval.
Okay. And was that substance abuse done?
Yes, sir. That was closed as well, and he determined that I have no substance use disorder.
And he was required to report to CPS, correct?
That's correct.
And he reported his findings to CPS.
Yes, sir.
And you're telling the court that the CPS case has been closed.
That's correct.
And how did you find out that the CPS case was closed?
I've received an email from Cynthia
And when was the case closed?
on May the 5th, Tuesday.
Okay. And then the medical marijuana, or what is it called? The acronym?
It's a CURT prescription, the Compassionate Use Registry of Texas. It's with the Department of Public Service. So if you need to search, it's on there.
Okay. And the CURT program, CURT, is a legal program that's authorized by the Texas Health and Safety Code, correct?
That's correct, because it's specific low grade.
And it's section 481.111E2 of the Texas Health and Safety Code.
That's correct.
And that allows a person who is suffering from some type of problem. What kind of problem would somebody qualify for a dispensary or a prescription for CBD marijuana?
There's multiple issues that I don't know of, but the one that I know of is my chronic elbow pain. I can't speak to the other ones. I have neuropathy, which means my central nervous system sends signals to my elbow that turns it hot.
Which
Well,
elbow?
my right elbow, and
Okay,
then it even turns my wrist cold.
Okay, and so what do you do for a living again?
I'm a fitness trainer, group fitness trainer, personal trainer, so it's very demanding on my uh pain tolerance. I feel it every day.
And so this is why you sought out this type of medicine?
Right, to dampen anything that can help me provide for my children.
And what other option do you have?
The other option I used in the past was the regular oxycodone, and that gave me very adverse reactions, and it was kind of scary to take those medicines, and I haven't.
And you were prescribed oxycodone only once in 2017, correct?
Yes, correct.
And you haven't used it since.
That's how fearful I am of it.
And your other option is surgery.
Correct.
And so what would happen if you
I
get
wouldn't
operated?
I wouldn't be able to work my jobs. I wouldn't be able to make the money that I want to
Okay.
for my children.
And so after CPS gets involved in March of 2026, and the allegations are made, the same allegations that are being made today, your wife continued to allow you to be with your children, correct?
That is correct.
And she allowed you to be with her children as well.
Yes, Isaac and Ellie were under my supervision as well with Nika and Oliver.
And tell the court, when did she begin to prohibit you from seeing your children?
Upon when I came to her about my CURT prescription.
Isn't it true that you didn't see your children after you served her with the petition for the divorce?
Yes, I believe that was April 20th, and I hadn't seen them until, actually, I haven't seen them after April 20th.
Have you asked her to visit with your kids?
Yes, I have.
And she has refused?
Yes.
And has she told you that she has a court order that prohibits you from seeing your kids?
No, she hasn't.
Have you been able to pick up your children from daycare?
No, I've been
Why not?
I've been told they will call the cops and that it's officer discretion at that matter.
Have you been allowed to go into your home?
No.
Is that your home too?
I'm sorry?
Is that your home too?
Yes, it is.
So you talked about your employment. You're working at Crunch. You're doing a few hours at Orange Theory, and you're also doing some personal time at Power 5.
Correct.
Does your schedule allow you to take care of your children?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Tell the court how.
It allows me for maximum flexibility for their needs. Like I was mentioning about Crunch Fitness, it's a come and go basis. So that's my main 9 to 3. And if there needs to be any child needs, doctor visits, picking them up from school, whether it's Isaac, Ellie, Nika, or Oliver, I'm able to leave and deal with my work later.
And before this divorce was filed on April 20th, you had approximately the same kind of schedule?
Yes, I would be primary caregiver during the day. My wife was working, and even towards overtime shifts at night. I have the information to vet that.
So tell the court, let's just take, for example, in April or late March, what are you doing on a daily basis for the children while your wife is at work?
I wake them up, I take them to daycare, I tend to any household needs that need to be taken at that time. I pick them up from daycare, I feed them, I bathe them, I do bedtime routines with them. I exercise the older ones, Isaac.
And Isaac is your wife's child from her first marriage?
Yes.
Yeah. And do you also have responsibilities for her other 2 children, Isaac and Ellie?
Yes, I do.
What kind of responsibilities did you have?
The same primary where I take them to school, and I still pick them up from school, and I take them to the doctor, or if they need to get picked up from school as well. Any times that they go to the emergency clinics, I'm available to be taken to take them.
Are you allowed or have you ever taken your children to the doctor for any reason?
Yes, I have.
And why do you take your children to the doctor? What kind of events?
Normal high temperature fever. Lately, what's unfortunate is Oliver and Nika have been getting respiratory issues and dealing with nebulizer treatments, and it's been an ongoing cough, and I'm very concerned because I haven't been around to help.
Okay, and so for the nebulizer treatments, tell the judge what kind of medicines do they require for the nebulizer treatment?
So Nika can do it depends on how bad they are. Nika does levobuterol and budesonide. Oliver is is doing level butyrol budesonide and saline as well.
And when is that required?
Every 4 to 6 hours, and it's as needed, but it's been bad lately where we have to get more medication.
And let's talk about Oliver. He's the youngest child.
Correct.
Do you know what kind of formula he uses?
Yes, I do.
What does he use?
He uses Kendamil goat formula. He had very hard time in his first like 4 or 5 months to the regular formula. So we found out, luckily, her mother did find a solution for our issues, and he's been gaining weight consistently, and it's a good sign for him to for the future.
Are you able to care for your children when they're in your possession?
Yes, sir.
What kind of precautions have you taken or will you take for purposes of your prescription medicine being in your house while you have the kids?
It's already under lock and key on the highest part of my closet. They cannot reach it, nor can they ever open that.
Are you going to be using your prescription when you're with your children?
No, sir.
And what kind of other alternative pain medicine are you going to use if you need to?
Tylenol, Advil. It's not going to help as much, but it's what I have to, whatever I can do to continue making money for my children.
Okay. And then this issue about making a hole in the wall, when did that happen? What month? What year?
That had to have happened right after Oliver was born, maybe 4 weeks, maybe he was in the NICU for 7 to 10 days. So it was a very emotional time. And
so my question is, when did it happen? What month? What year?
November 2025.
Okay. And then that never happened again?
No.
And your son wasn't there?
No.
And the cops weren't called?
No.
And despite that incident, your wife continued to allow you to be with the kids?
Yes.
When she was at work?
Yes, and when she go out of town too.
Okay. And this issue about the comment on side, when did that comment supposedly where you said I'm not that kind of a person, when did that happen?
I can't tell you the date exactly, but it's in one of our
what year?
2025.
Okay. So, and despite that comment that your wife's telling the court about, you continued to be around your kids, you took care of them, took them to school.
Yes.
When your wife is at work and you are not at work, do you care for the children on your own?
Yes, I do.
And if you had to work and the court gives you custody of your kids, what would you do to provide care for your children?
On the days that I'd have my children, I'd leave it open for maximum child care availability. And whenever my children go with their wife, that's when I can work as long as I need to.
Their wife or their mother?
Sorry, their mother.
Okay.
I apologize.
And do you have somebody who could help you? Let's say you had to work and you're with the kids. Who's going to help you with caring for the children?
My mother and my brother.
And what is your mother's name?
Jennifer Beatty.
And how old is she?
58.
And has she ever taken care of your children before?
Yes, she has.
Just like you have family to help you care with the children, does your wife also have family to help her care for the kids?
Yes, she does.
And has your wife ever complained about your mother being a good caretaker?
Yes, she has.
Okay. And does she still take care of them?
Yes, she does.
And with relation to, let me see here. After your wife or told her caretaker and CPS began their investigation, your wife has gone on some out-of-town trips, correct?
Yes.
And she left the children with you?
Correct. For 3 nights.
And there were no concerns?
No concerns at all.
And
they were sick.
Actually, one of your children became sick and you were able to care for her?
Correct.
And did your wife thank you for that?
Yes, she did. She felt very bad that she was out of town. And I totally understood.
Okay. Now, let's talk about what you're asking the court here today. With relation to your children, what are you asking as far as conservatorship? What do you want from the court for you?
I want to continue my role as a primary caregiver. So I'd love to have primary conservatorship.
Okay. And with relation to the use of the home, what are you asking?
I would ask that on the days where she has her older children, Isaac and Ellie, she gets to stay at the house with Nika and Oliver, and I will leave voluntarily. And on the days that they go back with their fathers, that I get to use the house on Placido for the, I guess, standard visitation, is it called? I don't know what it's called. But where she would leave to her families and leave me there with my children.
And who would you want to be appointed as the person who gets to decide where the children would reside?
I would.
And where would they be residing?
They would live with me.
At what house?
At my mother's until I find another home, because I was told I
Hold
would.
on. What's the address of your house?
Fi-
And
my-
that's where they would be
You're
residing
correct.
when they're with you, correct?
Yes, correct.
All right. And then, do you have any concerns about your wife caring for the children?
No, I think she's a great mother.
And tell the court, have you been prohibited from seeing your children since you filed for a divorce?
Yes, I have.
And who made that decision?
My wife.
And so it's been approximately
3 weeks.
3 weeks since you have not been able to see your kids.
Yes, sir.
Are you, if the judge awards you custody, are you gonna prohibit your wife from seeing the kids?
No, sir.
Now, let's talk about child support. Your wife works for the federal government. Would you like your wife to pay you child support?
Yes, I would.
And that would be based at her income?
Yes.
And she also has health insurance. You want her to continue to cover the health insurance
Yes, sir.
and the dental?
That's correct.
And you're asking for the exclusive use of the car in your possession?
The Nissan Pathfinder, yes, I've been told
And how long have you had that car?
since I had to sell my Nissan Sentra as recent as February 2026.
Are you also asking the court to make you and your wife communicate through the App Close program
Yes, I would like
with
that.
relation to the children?
Yes, for respectful communication and documentation.
And are you asking the court to allow you to pick up and drop off the kids at school?
Yes, from daycare, yes.
Has your wife prohibited you from picking up the children at school recently?
Yes, she's told daycare workers that if he's to pick up the children, you guys call the cops.
And that's been for 3 weeks?
Yes, it has.
Are you also asking for the court to award you makeup visits for these 3 weeks that you
Ye-
haven't been able to see your
Yes,
children?
because I'll never get those 3 weeks back.
Those are all the questions I have.
Mhm. 10:02, Mr. Chu. That was redirect. Go ahead.
Yes. Mr. Hale, you would agree that as partners, you would help each other out with the children, is that right?
Yeah, yes.
And that's exactly what you did with your wife, with the children.
Can you clarify your question?
As husband and wife, as father and mother, you would help each other out to raise the children, is that right?
Yes, but I was there more often than not. If she's busy 16 hours, I'm with the children 16 hours.
During those 16 hours that you're with the children, she didn't know you were using marijuana.
I was not.
Things changed in early April, when she found out that you were using marijuana.
That was the prescription that she found out. I didn't even have any of the medication on hand.
So even with the prescription, she had told you, this can't happen. I can't have someone, even with a prescription, around me or my children.
I believe so. I mean, she has a zero tolerance policy. I don't know what that designates for me, but I know what it designates for her.
She told you it's not her personal zero tolerance. It's her work. It's her livelihood. It's how she provides for the family.
Okay. And I'm still not understanding, like, yes, we work together. Yeah.
What I'm trying to ask you is, did all visits stop when you presented your wife with, now I have a prescription for marijuana, I'm going to continue using?
All visits stopped when I put in the divorce decree,
Okay. When did you get the marijuana prescription?
April 14th.
Okay, but you put the decree on
April 20th,
April 20th.
correct.
So you had already, did you show her that you had the prescription for marijuana?
I spoke to her and we had a very ugly fight about it, arguing, yelling, and that was my reason of we don't need to be together anymore. I will get a divorce. And that's it.
But even before that, you had been using marijuana, or was that right?
Sure, the ones you buy at the corner store and the ones that are legal, they only just recently became illegal March 31st to be sold in Texas.
Now the car that you're driving, whose car is that?
That is her car.
Was that her separate car before the marriage?
It was paid off during our marriage.
Who paid it off?
I'm unsure. She handled more of the finances, but my credit cards are on a lot of the bills.
So did you use your credit card to pay off that car?
It's under my name. If she paid the bills and it's under my credit card, then yes. But I don't know if that Nissan Pathfinder payment is on me.
No.
She paid it off during our marriage.
She paid it off.
I don't know if it's with my credit card because she didn't have credit limit. She used my credit to do these things.
Yeah, but it's not your car. It wasn't bought.
I understand, but it was the agreement we spoke on because of the government shutdown. We couldn't afford my title car, Nissan Sentra. We sold it to Carvana, and the only car that we had was the Nissan Pathfinder. So throughout these 3 weeks, I've been told by her father that car is under my daughter's name. So sure, but now you want me to be carless for my children? I mean, that's okay if you want that.
I didn't ask that. I just asked whose car it is.
Okay, and I'm trying to describe to you
No, but
the agreement.
But whose car is it?
Hers.
Okay, and it was before the marriage.
She paid off of it during the marriage.
But did she buy it before the marriage?
Yes, she did.
When I asked you about drug use, you only said marijuana, but you never mentioned Oxycontin.
That was 2017, and that was a one-time thing because I never want to take it again.
Oh no, but why didn't you tell us about it?
Emotional. I forgot. I hadn't been asked about it.
You immediately remembered what the attorney asked.
Yes, because it's something I don't want to take again.
Will you submit to a hair follicle today?
A hair follicle. Sure.
Because you said that you haven't taken the tincture, you haven't taken the gummy, that you've only used CBD. So any drug test would not show that high level of marijuana because CBD doesn't have a high level.
I have taken the prescription already. I told you on April 14th.
Well, you just said that you didn't take prescription yet. You haven't, you just got it.
You're
You haven't
misconstruing my
taken any
words.
prescription yet.
I told you on the 14th is when I gave her the Kurt prescription itself. I never had the products until April 2025. I don't know when it was, but I have the order documentation. I have taken the prescription medication gummies.
When did you take that?
Recently, as far as last weekend when I didn't have any of the children. This past weekend.
So even with the prescription, it's going to show real low level if you do take the drug test. Is that right?
I don't know. I can't speak to the levels, but like I told you, I had a tincture and I also had the edible gummies.
Okay. And you're telling the court you've never taken illegal marijuana THC.
The ones that's from the corner stores, yes, that's the ones that I've taken.
And that's the only ones that you've taken.
I mentioned in college I took marijuana.
That's in college. It won't show up.
Okay.
So you've taken regular marijuana.
No. It's only the ones that have been in the store and this prescription medication that I've recently taken. I've taken my prescription medication and it's helping me.
No further questions.
Anything on recross?
Yes, just a few clarifications. You were asked right now about if things changed when you told your wife about your prescription, but then that was on the 14th that you got your prescription. On April the 16th, you were allowed to be with the kids, correct?
Yes,
On April the 18th, you were allowed to be with the kids unsupervised for one full day overnight.
correct.
On April the 19th, you were allowed to be with the kids, correct?
Correct.
So even after you
Yes,
told your wife about your prescription,
Correct.
she still continued to allow you to be with the children,
correct,
and there was no problem, right?
correct.
And then the job issue, she's complaining, which she has every right to, about her job having a zero tolerance for drug use. But her job also has a zero tolerance for hiring undocumented workers to work at the house, correct?
That'd be correct.
And you all had an undocumented worker working at the house?
Yes, more than one.
And you also had undocumented person cutting the grass?
Yes,
And she knows that that's a zero tolerance policy?
correct.
Did she complain about those things?
No, she didn't. She
Okay.
actually said her firstborn son would look out for that.
And then the car, what kind of car, what car is she driving?
Highlander, white Highlander.
And how, throughout your marriage, how long have you been using the Nissan Pathfinder?
Just recently, as this past year.
Okay. And then what has she been using throughout your marriage?
She,
Well, let's talk about within the last 6 months.
2020 Highlander.
So she has a Highlander and you've been using the Pathfinder.
Correct.
And you're asking the court to allow you to continue to use the vehicles that you have in your possession.
That's
Right. If after this case resolves in the divorce and that property belongs to her, you're going to return it,
correct.
correct?
Correct.
And you know you'll have to get your own vehicle.
Oh, 100%.
And do you have any concern that you are unable to care for your children for any reason?
No, sir.
And you finally, the cops have never been called to your house for any problems that you and your wife have had.
No, sir.
And you're going to maintain the peace, correct?
Yes, I am.
That's all the questions I have, Judge.
Two questions.
Go ahead.
Actually, it wasn't perfect. You did file for the divorce on April 20th, right?
I filed for divorce, yes.
And then you had an agreement to leave the house with your wife.
Was it a written agreement?
I don't know. Did you have a verbal
It-
agreement to leave the house with your wife?
Judge, that's been asked and answered. He said
the-
that he
yes.
had an agreement.
Give me 1 second. Repeat the question.
Did you have a verbal agreement to leave the house with your wife?
And what is the objection?
That it's been asked and answered previously.
I don't believe in that fashion. Overruled. You may answer.
Yes, we had an agreement. When she had the older children, she stays at the house. When I have the younger children, she goes to her family's house. That's all I was trying to state, and I never got that.
How much do you make a month?
2,500. I haven't had my bigger check yet, but it should be the next one.
Okay. What's your bigger check?
3,000 a month.
Excuse me?
It's just 3,000 a month. It's 500 more because I have more clients at Crunch.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because you're self-employed.
That's right.
All right. Thank you. No further questions.
Any other questions, Mr. Vela?
No, Judge.
Mr. Hill, you may step down.
Okay.
I think this was still your case in chief.
I have no
You
further-
called this witness, right?
Yes, Judge. I have no further witnesses.
Do you have any witnesses, Mr. Vela?
No, Judge. I did my examination right now.
I tell you what, folks, I'm gonna give each of the parties I'm gonna stay on the bench. I'm gonna give the parties a few minutes to talk to their lawyers, because I'm gonna ask them each this question and I want a response. So the question is, I think during day one, of this hearing, May the 5th, at or about 3:57 to 3:59, Mrs. Hale testified to illegal drug use take very detailed notes. It's finding the place where it's at. But at this hearing, Mr. Hale acquiesced or agreed that he was willing to take a drug test and then did it twice. If pressed, I can pull up the times that he did that. So the question to the parties is this, and don't answer now. I'm going to give you some time to talk to your lawyers. I'm not going to order this because it would be sua sponte, and I'm not going to do that. But the question is, would you voluntarily submit to a instant test now? The court, specialty court staff has those on hand, and that would certainly give the court information because obviously each of the parties is biased for your own selves, right? But this test would provide the court some information as to make the assessment whether the allegation is true, but this court never orders one. So what's good for one is good for both. So the question is to both, would you each and both be willing to take this test? I'm not going to order it. You would have to do so voluntarily. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to talk to your lawyers. Whatever the outcome is, we'll put on the record, and either I'll have this information or I won't. So talk to your lawyers. We'll go back on the record momentarily. So put the microphone in front of your client, please. Ms. Hale, have you had sufficient opportunity to talk to your lawyer?
Yes, Judge.
Do you need any additional time to talk to him or to answer or to ask any questions?
No, Judge.
All right. So the question the court has is, knowing that you have an opportunity to voluntarily submit to an instant drug test, would you like to take that opportunity or not?
Yes, Judge.
All right. Anything to put on the record, Mr. Chu?
Nothing right now, Your Honor.
Mr. Hale, bring the microphone as close to you as possible. Question, have you had sufficient opportunity to talk to your lawyer? Do you need any other time?
No, sir.
Knowing, Mr. Hale, that you have an opportunity to volunteer to an instant drug test, what would you like to do?
I'd like to volunteer.
All right, Mr. Vela, anything to put on the record?
No, good.
It's off.
Whatever prescription you need, we can provide to the court.
All right, so ostensibly it may come back positive or something, and then you are offering to rebut that with a prescription, ostensibly, without knowing anything else. All right, let me ask our DWI court team to come in and to escort the parties for voluntary testing.
Urine test.
For the record, Mr. Cordova, part of our DWI court specialty team, and Ms. Reyes, part of the same specialty group and court group, will take the parties for testing. Good luck to all. While they perform that process, anything for the record, Mr. Chu?
Nothing right now, Judge. Just ask court to make its decision after.
Sorry, Mr. Vela? Yeah, I think so.
It wasn't on the record, Your Honor.
Mr. Vela? Yeah. When we reconvene, the team will read the results, whatever they are, into the record. I guess you could, if you want, have some time to examine them if you wish. Nobody has, but you're allowed. And then, as always, my questions and instructions to each and both is going to be just summarize what the evidence and testimony showed, how it supports your client's request and position, and instructively, are there any statutes, rules, or case law or guiding principles that would give this court any guidance as to what the outcome should be?
Yes, sir.
Thank you,
All right.
Judge.
We'll stand at ease momentarily.
Thank you. All right.
Court is back in session, and we are on the record in cause number 2026 FLA 619C3, Hale v. Hale. Let me ask the specialty court team to come to court. Let me begin by asking Ms. Reyes to step in front of the lower bench. Ms. Reyes, would you tell for the record, I know this, but just for the record, tell the court your name.
Alexandra Reyes,
What is your title?
case manager for the juvenile drug court program.
How long have you been in that role?
Coming on to 4 years now.
And what are your duties as in that position?
Just monitoring the progress of the participants in the program, and making sure they are complying with the requirements.
Right. Ms. Reyes, did you have an opportunity to administer an instant drug test to Sylvia Hale?
Yes, sir.
Do you have results?
Yes.
Would you read into the record what those results are?
Ms. Hill was administered a drug test this morning. She was tested for all substances and came up negative.
Right. Mr. Chu, and I don't have a preference. It's already been read into the record. Do you have any objection admitting that document into the record?
No objection, Judge.
Any objection, Mr. Vela?
No, Judge.
All right, tender it to the coordinator, please. Before I release you, Mr. Chu, do you have any questions for Ms. Reyes?
No, Judge.
Any questions for Ms. Reyes, Mr. Vela?
No, Judge.
Thank you for your service, Ms. Reyes. Thank you. Mr. Cordova, would you step in front of the lower bench, please?
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. Mr. Cordova, would you put into the record or to say on the record your name, please?
Freddie Cordova Jr.,
Mr. Cordova, what is your title?
DWI Court Case Manager.
And as part of that role, what are your duties?
I oversee the operations of the DWI Court, ensuring that participants are complying with the program as well as sobriety.
How long have you been in that role?
Going on 6 years.
All right. Mr. Cordova, did you have an opportunity to administer an instant drug test to Mr. Hale this morning?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Do you have results?
I do.
Would you tell the court what those results are?
The results for Mr. Derek Hale did come out positive for THC as well as amphetamines.
All right, Mr. Chu. First question. Any objection to admitting that? I mean, it's already on the record, so I don't have a preference, but do you have any objection to admitting that document into the record?
No objection, Judge.
Same question, Mr. Vela?
No objection.
Mr. Chu, do you have any questions for Mr. Cordova?
No, I don't, Judge.
Same question, Mr. Vela. Any questions for Mr.
I
Cordova?
do, Judge. Can I see the results sheet so I could ask a few questions?
Yes. All right, Mr. Cordova, since there are questions now, I'm going to ask that you raise your right hand.
Yes, Judge.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you will give in this cause will be the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you may lower your hand, Mr. Vela.
Mr. Cordova, the test that the urinalysis consent form has the results that's written in pen. Those are your handwritings?
Yes.
And I see the positive X on the box that says marijuana THC. Does that have a cutoff level?
It is a rapid test. So it's based off of it's a visual test. It doesn't tell you
Okay.
levels.
So there is no cutoff level. It's either positive or negative, period.
It's either there's a line or there's not lines to indicate.
And how long have you been doing this job?
6 years.
And the amphetamine tested positive as well. Is there a cutoff level for that?
No, same concept. It's based off of the whether there's a line or not a line.
What kind of prescription drugs can cause a positive result for an amphetamine drug test?
It varies. It ranges. When asked, Mr. Derek, he did state that he is taking Adderall.
Okay. Is Adderall a prescription drug that can cause a positive test for amphetamine?
Yes, it is known to trigger a positive.
And Adderall is for people who have ADHD?
I do not.
You do not know.
I do not know.
Those are all the questions I have, Judge.
Any cross-examination questions, Mr. Chu?
No, Judge.
All right, court has heard no. Mr. Cordova, tender the original document to Ms. Flores. Thank you for your service, Mr. Cordova.
Yes, Judge.
The court's ready to hear closing. Do any of you, each of you, either of you need time to prepare for
No.
closing?
No, I don't. No, Judge.
All right. So as I said it, I think I said it on the record, Mr. Chu and Mr. Vela. So what I need you all to do, and take, I guess, 10, 15 minutes if you want, but what I need you all to do is summarize the evidence, the testimony and evidence before the court. Tell the court how that evidence and testimony supports your client's position. Tell the court what your client is asking. And then if you can, provide the court any statutes, case law, or guiding principles as to what the court should do in this situation. Mr. Chu, when you're ready, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Your Honor, this is relatively a short marriage, 3 years of marriage. And in any given marriage, both parties enter into it, with full faith that they would help each other, love each other, and work together. Kind of fell apart when the children came in, especially when Oliver came in, was born, and that was recently in November of 2025. That's when a lot of the conflict started arising. But the main conflict came about from Mr. Hale's admitted drug use. Prior to that, he was doing well with the children and helping my client out with her other children. But when the drug use came in, that pretty much broke the marriage, to the point where they were trying to go through marriage counseling to save it, but it didn't help because he wouldn't give it up. Now, this prescription for drug use just came about as early as April 14th, about a week before he filed for divorce. Now, Ms. Hale had stated to Mr. Hale that I cannot have someone doing drugs, live in the house, caring for the children. Number one, because of her job. That's her livelihood. Number two, she doesn't use drugs. She doesn't trust anybody with drugs to be around the children. So thereafter, he wasn't allowed to be around the children. These are young children, 2 years old and 6 months old. You've heard testimony that he got so frustrated that he would yell when Oliver would cry, and Oliver wouldn't allow him to sleep, punched a hole in the wall, which is still there presently, punched the door also. What's also surprising is when asked about drug use, legal or illegal, there's only mention of the CBD usage over the counter. Thereafter, now admittedly, tinctures and gummies that were prescribed to him for chronic pain, which this chronic pain just came recently about. Now we hear that from the drug test that there's also amphetamines in his system. And also the Oxycontin that he failed to disclose. So these are not behaviors that are stable, that is consistent with raising two young children, two-year-old and 6 months, Your Honor. There's also the issue of the 5 dogs in the house. My client tested negative. She has, she's been at her job for 8 years. She's raised 2 children, and now she has 2 more with Mr. Hale, and she doesn't accept any sort of drug use in the house or around her children, legal or illegal. Alcohol is also legal, but we treat it with the same problem that under the influence of alcohol or under the influence of drugs, it's just not safe to be around the children. The other disconcerting fact is that there were admitted bullets that were left in the house, left in her shoe closet. This caused my client, and this was after the divorce was filed, after he had left the house. She comes home and she sees this. This is very disconcerting. She is in fear that, this behavior is not consistent with someone that is stable. She fears for her safety and for her children. He explained it that he had inadvertently left it, but it does send a chilling message that, hey, look, this is, be warned, be aware that this something may happen to you. I mean, that's the only thing that I can probably surmise that can come about this. My client does ask for the court to allow her to stay in the family home for the duration of the divorce, not only because she has 2 older children, she also has the 2 younger ones that are in the family home. Asked the court to award both parties managing conservatorship, that my client gets to designate the right where the children reside, which is right there in Placido. Asked the court to set child support obligations to Mr. Hale, as well as medical support reimbursement. We asked the court to determine what will happen with the 5 dogs that are also at the house, Judge. And asked the court to, if the court does award visitation, that visitation with Mr. Hale would be limited and not overnights, and that he would not use drugs for a period of 12 hours, and that it would be supervised by his parents or at the Webb County Safe Haven. Thank you, Jim.
Mr. Vela.
Judge, it's very simple when you get a divorce to start creating a fact pattern to eliminate the other side if you want to. But what you can erase is the 3 years of marriage that this couple had, and the allowance that the mother made to Mr. Hale to take care of not only their children, but her children. And Mr. Hale was always the right person to care for the kids. His behavior was never a problem so bad that she called the police or that there was law enforcement intervention. And in fact, we showed to the court exhibits 6, 7, and 8, which speak volumes. B10, which is exhibit 6, in March of 2024, Ms. Hale thanks Mr. Hale Boy for always taking care of our family and me. A year later, on Father's Day, exhibit number 7, B11, she says, the man who didn't just step in, he showed up with his whole heart. You love our babies with every fiber of your being. You've wrapped my kids in the kind of love that they will never forget. I see the sacrifices, the late nights, the gentle hands, the loud laughter, and the quiet strength. Thank you for being the kind of father that healed, builds, and loved without limits. We're so lucky to call you ours. Happy Father's Day. After the couple has a problem, and Mr. and Mrs. Hale have a discussion in their home, Ms. Hale all of a sudden goes before a therapist. And lo and behold, the therapist calls CPS to complain about drug use and physical abuse to their child, 6-month-old child, causing the therapist, according to Ms. Hale, to call CPS. CPS goes and interviews my client. They have him do a drug evaluation. They close it out. They also close out their case on the issues of violence or threat to the children. CPS tells my client to go to a drug evaluation, and he does. And their chosen drug evaluator says that my client has no issue. After CPS gets involved in March, through March, April, my client is still at the home, taking care of the kids overnight, unsupervised. And then all of a sudden, when my client files the lawsuit on April 20th, Ms. Hale decides to take the law into her own hands and says, you're not going to see my kids. You're not coming into the home, using the standard restraining order that doesn't allow one party or the other to exclude from the home, and doesn't allow one party or the other to exclude the parent from picking up the children at school, and doesn't allow one party or the other to exclude the parent from caring for the child. And she decides that she's gonna not allow my client to have his rights as a father. And the court knows that under Chapter 153.001, the public policy of the estate of this state is to assure frequent conduct with parents. That's in the best interest of the children, for the parties to be appointed joint managing conservator, for the court to designate their rights and duties. And there's a presumption that both parents should be appointed joint managing conservators. So, yes, the testimony seems to be concerning, but you have to consider the whole picture here and consider all of the actions that have taken place before we came to court today, and all the actions that Ms. Hale allowed Mr. Hale to do as a father. If his service and care and love was good enough during the marriage, it's good enough today, Judge. Mr. Hale was asked the question about the drugs, and he told the court that he has a prescription for THC. That response was in response to his question about taking drugs. The term drugs can be illegal or not illegal. But when you have a prescription, a doctor has given you the right to take this medicine. He did not ask the question, are you taking any other prescription drugs, at least not from what I heard. And my client has a prescription for THC and for Adderall, for ADHD. And that's never been a problem. And he's allowed to take it legally. And that's never had any concerns with his children. My client has 3 jobs at the gym. He's able to perform his duties. He's able to care for the kids. He's able to care for the kids unsupervised. Never been an issue. But what we can do is my client has told the court that he will not take any of his prescriptions while the children are with him, if that's what the court wants. We don't think it's necessary, but we're willing to offer it to help the court and to help Ms. Hale feel more comfortable with my client. My client loves the children. He loves his wife, but they're getting a divorce and they need to co-parent past today. What are we asking from the court? We're asking the court to appoint the parties as joint managing conservators of the children, to have a geographic restriction to Webb County, that neither party shall have the exclusive right to designate the residence of the children, because they will be residing at their home located at 504 Placido Drive. We ask that the court allow both parties to use the home in the following fashion: that Mr. Hale be allowed to exclusively use the home while he's in possession of the children, and that Ms. Hale be allowed to use the home while she's in possession of the children of the marriage. Neither party shall discuss this with the kids. They're very young, so I don't think that's going to be an issue. That all matters be communicated directly through them through the App Close program. And both of them have the right of first refusal, so that if one can't take care of the children, the other one can. I'm asking that the court order that no child support be paid during the temporary orders period, that Ms. Hale continue to provide the health insurance through her employer, that the parties share the unreimbursed expenses 50-50, that Mr. Hale reimburse Ms. Hale half of the cost for the health insurance premium and the dental insurance for the 2 children of this marriage, prorated by or divided by the other children that she has to have on the insurance. We're asking for exclusive use of the vehicle that's in my client's possession. We're asking that the parties abide by the Webb County standing order, which helps them with their conduct, that they respect each other, that they not threaten each other. I'm asking the court to allow my client to obtain any personal possessions that he needs from the house during the temporary orders period. And we believe that these orders are in the best interest of the children based on the evidence presented to the court. And we ask the court to enter these orders today so that my client can regain visitation and possession of the children. And lastly, Judge, I ask the court to grant us 21 days of lost visits with the children. as makeup visits for the time that Ms. Hale has not allowed my client to see the children. Thank you.
I guess the only question the court has, and it was posed to the court, although I answered it as best I could at the last hearing because I didn't have the document right in front of me and I didn't want to give a legal opinion as I shouldn't because I already had some signed orders. But assuming that the prohibition or the disallowance into the home or possession of the children is in fact true, and I'm not saying it is, I'm just saying if it did in fact happen, I guess, Mr. Chu, the question is, and I still haven't seen it, so you can point to the court where, but is there any, did this court order that prohibition?
No, it was requested for the court after this hearing.
So there is, so I guess the question is there any legal basis, since the filing of this case at least, under court order to prohibit Mr. Hale to the use of the home or possession of the children?
Based on the testimony today, yes, Judge, because of the alleged drug use.
Right, in the future, but my question is currently, over the last, I don't know, two weeks or so that there's been a TRO in place, has that prohibition been court ordered?
That he cannot come into the house, it's not.
And what about possession of the children?
Possession of children also, it is not.
All right. See if I can articulate a clear order for y'all to follow. You're coming back, Ms. Hale and Mr. Hale, on July the 1st at 2 p.m. for your final hearing. So these orders, they're not permanent. They're not meant to be. This just gets you at least to the finish line in a very peaceable manner. And I think that's what everybody wants. It's clear to the court for whatever it's worth. I mean, if you want an unbiased set of eyes reviewing your factual situation, it sounds like a lot of this, and it happens, and I'm not judging it because it happens probably to every single person in every single marriage. And it sounds like it was a communication issue that may have been remedied by Mr. Hale just actively disclosing whatever legal usage he had. And it sounds like the failure to disclose or the actions of taking it did not land well with his wife, Mrs. Hale. And it also sounds to the court that it is a personal prohibition for, and this was said by Mr. Chu in closing, legal and illegal drug use. In other words, she has a personal desire or adherence or a personal standard high enough that she disallows and disfavors both illegal and legal drug use. I think that's clear to the court. And Mr. Hill's use of, perhaps in this case, legal drug use is what flared much of the situation. And there may have been other things, as with all relationships, I guess. What the court didn't hear, however, is what specific work-related and federal prohibitions would have disallowed that. I mean, I presume they're there, but I don't know that I can even do that. But it's clear to the court, and therefore, I presume then that this case would be an irreconcilable differences situation. I certainly understand that. All right. And I guess the question before the court then is what to do in the interim. And I'll just tell you, this case was, tell you what happens in many situations, Mrs. Hale and Mr. Hale. Going through the process is very difficult. It's very difficult emotionally. It's very difficult for you all in your situation. For the court, it's just based on a decision, based on what the court heard in evidence and testimony. So really, the answer you get is just based on the information here, not the information inside your heads, because you have a lot of history factually in your heads that I just don't know about. So I'm just making a decision based on the evidence here. And in my questions to Mr. Chu, court fails to see any reasonable basis for the prohibitions. All right. See if I can go through these one by one. So, Mrs. Hale and Mr. Hale are both ordered joint managing conservators over their 2 children. Neither party shall have the exclusive right to determine their residence that will come ostensibly on July the 1st, 2026 at 2 p.m. The children shall continue to reside in their home, and I don't think anybody disagrees with that. The question is what happens in the interim. I guess before I rule, one question to Mr. Vela. Any objection to your client or you through your client through you, either filing into the case with redactions or filing into case center to give Mr. Chu access to his legal prescription for Adderall?
Sure.
All right. So all of this will be preferenced on that. Either one, either public record with redactions or through case center to give Ms. Hale and Mr. Chu access to that. So all of this is prefaced and conditioned on that. Nobody disagrees that these children should live at their home. The visits. This is what the evidence and testimony supported. So the court finds that it is in the best interest for the children for a safe, stable situation that they continue to reside in the home. The court heard that the other children in the home have visits, ostensibly without, I didn't hear this, but ostensibly those are going to be on the 1st, 3rd, and 5th. So Mr. Hale is granted visitation on the 1st, 3rd, and 5th weekends of the month in the marital home overnights with his mother present. If she's not available, then the visit will not take place. That would commence, the next one would commence. And one question, I like that the 3rd weekend is the 15th because Mrs. Hale should have all of this weekend for Mother's Day. I was looking at the court calendar. I don't have Father's Day on the court calendar. Can somebody just tell me what day that is? I can check. In other words, what I'm trying to do is what's good for one should be good for both. If the court gives all Mother's Day weekend to one, all Father's Day weekend should go to the other.
I believe it's June 21st.
Which is the 3rd weekend. So it's the law is good. All right. So this weekend is Moms for Mother's Day. The weekend of the 21st, which is the 3rd weekend in June, is Dad. So it falls squarely into place. I don't have to make any changes. All right. So for the record, Mr. Hale will have visitation and access to the children Friday after school exclusively in the home. The 3rd weekend in May is May 15th. The 5th weekend in May is May 29th. The 1st weekend in June, it begins on June the 5th. 3rd weekend in June begins on June the 19th. And then you're back in court for your final hearing. That visitation should end Sunday at 6. Right of first refusal is hereby granted for the period of 2 hours. So if one party or the other is not available for 2 hours, then you should notify the other person. Any person not in possession of the children has the right for electronic communication. These are really young children, twice a day. Get together with the best times. I don't know the specifics of your children. You do. If you can't agree, then I'll plug in some times. But I think 7 p.m. is standard. And just plug in another time that's agreeable. Child support becomes trickier. So agree or disagree to this fact, Mr. Chu, is there a mortgage in place on the home?
Yes, there's a mortgage in place, and we were just gonna ask the court, since the court decided this way, to have the parties split the mortgage and the bills.
1 second. Can you agree to that fact, Mr. Vela, that a mortgage is due on the home?
Yes, sir, we'll agree to that.
Right. In the interest of justice. This is the way I derive this, and it's only for the period of 1 month. So you're really going to pay. Agree to this fact, Mr. Chu. When is that the mortgage due?
The first of the month, Your Honor.
Same question, Mr. Vela. Any disagreement with that fact?
That's correct, Judge.
All right. So this is only going to be for 2 months, for the month of May and the month of June. Since the children are going to be more of the time with Mrs. Hale, but I've granted access to Mr. Hale on the first, third, and fifth. I've taken 20% of Mr. Hale's current salary, and then I've divided that by 2. That's $250 a month. So $250 due now, $250 due on June the 1st. You come back on July the 1st, and we'll make some further orders. Regarding the mortgage, obviously it's a marital home, but the occupants aren't all Mr. Hale's responsibility. So he's responsible between now and then for 2/3 of the mortgage. I didn't do that right. 2/5. Sorry. Whatever the number that is for the month of May and the month of June. Health insurance will continue to be covered by Mrs. Hale. Mr. Hale will be responsible for the amounts attributable to 2 children. Any unreimbursed medical expenses divided 50-50. Mr. Chu, have I omitted any portion to rule on?
The dogs. It's summer, there's 5 dogs, they keep the dogs outside, and it just, my client is not able to handle.
Let me ask you this. I did contemplate that, and the reason you didn't hear anything is, what did the court hear in evidence and testimony and in closing arguments as to the alternative? What information does the court have to make that decision?
We don't, Judge. I guess I can confer with Mr. Vela.
Right. Same question to you, Mr. Vela. What evidence and testimony did the court hear, and what was the court requested in closing as an alternative?
There was no alternative, Judge, and I would propose to Mr. Chu that we'll take the dogs if Ms. Hale allows us to.
Okay.
All right. A lot of this stuff, I'm going to tell you one more time, it's very, very hard emotionally. Factually, you just get results based on what the court hears. I know that there's a good solution. I just didn't hear it, so I can't opine or make a decision on that. One more time, Mr. Chu, is there any issue that the court has not ruled on?
Not at this time.
Mr. Vela, is there any pending issues that the court has not ruled on?
I don't know if you told us, what are we gonna do with the vehicles in our clients' possessions? Are we gonna continue to use them?
There is that.
Oh, we have no objection to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Right,
fine.
so everybody continues in possession of their own vehicle until further orders of the court on July the 1st. Same question again. Anything the court left out, Mr. Vela?
Left out, no, Judge.
Bring the microphones close to your client, please, beginning with you, Mr. Hill. You were the petitioner. Do you have any questions for the court?
No, sir, Judge.
Mrs. Hill, do you have any questions for the court?
Just one, aside from the mortgage, just to clarify, the bills, electricity, all that to run the home, I just make sure I pay that on my own as well, right?
The court, see, this is the thing. The court didn't hear evidence or testimony as what should happen. So I tell you what, based on what's happened here, since the request was mortgage, I did hear on that, and I have found, at least at this juncture, things can happen different based on what whatever you present to the court on July the 1st. But I have already found that 2/5 is reasonable, adequate, and just in this situation. So come back to court on July the 1st and tell the court if payment of 2/5 for the rest is good, right, wrong, or what the alternative is. Make a request. Happy to rule on the request.
Oh, yes, Judge.
Mrs. Hale, do you have any other questions?
No, Judge, thank you.
I would say this again because I definitely believe it, and I understand that these process is very difficult emotionally. I hope that you go forward over the next month as amicable as you have seen here. I am going to order app close. I was made that request, and I think it's good for good communication. Continue to communicate with each other professionally, responsibly, and know that this situation, since you have such young children, is going to continue not for 18 years. People think that we graduate from high school and then that's it. It doesn't. Your 2 children, God willing, will grow on to be responsible, healthy adults with long lives. So even at college graduations, weddings, you're going to have to communicate with each other amicably for the rest of your lives. And then, as Mr. Chu and Mr. Vela know, your obligations with your children don't end there. When you die, hopefully you'll go before your kids. You'll have obligations in death to your kids, even your estates will. So keep that in mind. This is a lifelong obligation, not so much to each other, but to your children. I wish both of you well, but more importantly, I wish your 2 children all the best. Mrs.
Can I
Hale.
just ask one more question? Just
Sure.
because I have experienced the right of first refusal with the 2 hours. That is aside from the daycare workday, or like, I mean, the daycare time frame, like after they get out of daycare, is it 2 hours?
Outside of the daycare, yes. So if you're not available, don't worry about daycare. Daycare,
Okay.
I presume the court heard no evidence that there is any problems with daycare, so we leave that alone.
Okay.
Afterwards, and it's okay. It's going to happen to everyone. You're going to get busy. Mr. Hell's going to get busy, and that's okay. Just advise each other. I'm not available. Can you pick up and take care of? And the answer will be yes or no, and that'll be that.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Once more, I wish your kids all the best. Good luck.
Thank you.
Ms. Flores, any other cases pending today?
No, that is all, Your Honor. Would there be an orders due date for the temporary workers?
I apologize. Yes, Mr. Chu, Mr. Vela, the orders are due on or before.
May 18th at noon by submission.
Get them in as soon as possible, before then if possible. But remember, all of this is conditioned on the filing of the prescription. All right. That now concludes this hearing held in person at Webb County Court of Law 2 for Friday, May the 8th, 2026. The court continues to embrace the latest technology to provide safe and uninterrupted access to justice without delay. Today's hearing was made possible by the appearance of counsel and parties and by the assistance, diligence, and preparation of the Webb County Court of Law 2 staff and the employees of Webb County that provide judicial support to the court, like the clerk's office and our sheriff's office. Thank you all. Have a good day.
Thank you, Judge.